Hi, my name is Tim Hill and my company is Utonic, and in this video we're going to go through some basic exercises to get your anterior and posterior slings firing up. So your anterior sling and your posterior sling are used when we walk and when we run and so forth. So what happens when we walk is this hip extends, that arm goes back, so that's the posterior sling. So you've got the lat pulling back going to the glute on the opposite side, and then the anterior sling, as that arm goes forwards and the opposite leg goes forwards, you've got your pecs going into your obliques, going into your adductors on the other side. So with this exercise we're going to use some resistance bands, and for the anterior sling one, what we want is first of all to come into a split stance as you would be as you're walking. So what we've got is you've got feet parallel, and that is key. Okay, so definitely don't want that back foot turned out. So that will indicate that the piriformis is tight and it needs to be loosened off. So I'll link some exercises at the end of how you can get that loose if you find that you do walk with your feet turned out. So again, feet parallel. Make sure as well that you squeeze your bum on this back leg. So what we want is basically, we want the pelvis to stay nice and still, so it's nice and stable. And then what you're going to do is you're going to just press that arm and the idea is initially, if you want to be conservative with the exercise, just work on keeping the shoulders still and just press, because you will get the activation, your obliques will have to work, and what we ideally want to then start adding in is, when you feel comfortable doing it, is some rotation. So what you're looking at is trying to bring the shoulders back, but the idea is the rotation should come through your thoracic and not through the hips. So as you bring this arm back, make sure that your bum on this side stays working, which keeps the pelvis under control. Okay, so we're pressing, we're trying to rotate, but you're trying to squeeze your bum on the back leg to keep the pelvis stable. That is the key with this exercise. So you've got to try and engage your core, squeeze your bum on that back leg, and then the same as you come back. So if it's weak, it will want to switch off as you come back, but you've got to keep it squeezed so the pelvis stays nice and still. So as I say, if you find that difficult, then I'd work on arm only without any rotation until you've got the stability that you can then try and work with a bit of rotation as well. And then to get the posterior sling working, what we're doing with this one, you want so the same leg forwards as the arm that you're pulling with, because you can almost, the goal is trying to actually take the weight out of that forward leg. So what we're trying to do is we make the opposite glute contract. So what you want is less weight in this leg, and then you're just trying to pull your elbow back. So you're engaging your lat and your bum on that leg, and if you can, as a progression, you can start to work to try and lift that leg up. And then as I say, so yeah, as we start the exercise, start with both feet on the floor, and then to work into a progression, you can try and lift that leg off, but making sure that you're keeping nice and stable. And then there's another exercise which I'll also link at the end, which takes you through other progressions of one leg drills, such as the running man. So that will then really start working that posterior sling, and you're trying to get that stability in that sacroiliac joint. But initially you want to try and do it with weight bearing on both legs, and then you can start adding in the one leg stuff and the rotation when you feel confident. So I hope you found this video useful. If you did, then please give it a like and consider subscribing to my channel.